there is never a good time for a flat tire. I'll show you some of the things I use to reduce the chances of that happening out in the field and how to properly repair it when back in the shop. I'm Bradley with Blue Cord, and that's coming up next. Now this is a product called LiquiTube. It works amazingly well. I never did inject my narrow tires with chains with this stuff, and I noticed this morning one of them wasn't holding any air, and I just have these sitting off the side of the shop. This one right here. So I sprayed it down and I found the leak. LiquiTube is not cheap. When you buy it by the pail like this, you save a little bit of money. This stuff is amazing and can seal punctures up to a ½ inch in size. First, we're going to go ahead, we're going to pull the valve out. So this next step, you got to be able to read, so that might exclude some of you. But for those of you who can, you got to check the tire size. This is a 20 by 10 on an 8-inch wheel. So we're going to consult the manual, figure out how much volume we're going to need to fill this tire. 20 by 10 by 8 right here. So that is 31 ounces of liquid. We're gonna go ahead and put that in. Each full pump is 10 ounces. 3 full pumps plus 1 ounce for this tire size. When you put the valve back in, you want to make sure that this thing is as clean as you could possibly get it. If you got any cuts on your hands, you're going to know it when you spray this stuff. Now we're going to spin the tire a few times to make sure the inside is fully coated. If the tire's already mounted, it's a lot easier to drive it. For this, because the tire's not mounted, it's a lot more trouble to mount this thing, drive it around than what it's worth. So this way works just fine. Now you can still see where the bubbles are. We're going to go ahead, put some air in here, see if we get any more bubbles here. When it rains, it pours, I'm telling you. I parked Ethel May outside to make this video, and I looked down at this outer tire, and son of a gun, if there isn't a piece of iron sticking out of this tire. It's a wire about the same size of a coat hanger. So we're going to go ahead, pull it, and see if it leaks. Affirmative. Put some LiquiTube in this tire and I'll show you how well it works. Now we're going to go ahead, reinflate the 7, drive it around, coat the inside of the tire, see if it leaks. So my neighbor's dog was just attacked by a raccoon. You want to see me take this 4520 on a test drive, or you want to see me go after this raccoon? That's what I thought. Let's get going. I'll mount you on the helmet cam. I can't get the camera mounted on my headset. I'm sorry guys, but I got to take off. I'll be right back. Sorry about the interruption, guys, but the safety and welfare of the neighborhood. And our fur babies takes priority over anything else. Now, the woods behind the street over there, the underbrush is very dense, a lot of briars, thorns, prickers. Very hard to see, even up in the canopy, very dense. I checked around some of the water holes there, a lot of deer tracks, didn't see any raccoon tracks. Don't know where he went, but we're gonna keep an eye out for him, and yeah. Anyway, let's get back to checking this tire. we're gonna drive the machine around, coat the inside of the wheel, see if it leaks. Just real quick, I was gonna make a video out of cutting down this tree using the new power of the 4520 and the grapple, picking this up, moving it back further in the wood line, and wouldn't you know it, 2 nights ago, this thing fell on its own. Saved me the work of dropping it. We still gotta cut it up and move it back. So you'll be seeing that in an upcoming video. All right, so I've let this puncture sit overnight after I put the liquid tube in, drove it around a little bit to allow it to seal up the hole. We're gonna check tire pressure and see how well it's been able to hold it. Right at 7, exactly where I left it yesterday afternoon. It's been about 17 hours. It's held the 7 pounds of pressure. Actually, right now it's reading 7.5. It's possible the temperature is a little bit higher than it was this time yesterday. So in the field, you can see how effective this is at sealing a puncture or a leak. But anytime I have an opportunity, when I'm back in the shop, I always plug the hole just in case. The way I look at it, the liquid tube is an excellent product, but anytime that you get back home and you find there is a compromise in your tire, it's always best to plug it. So he reinflated to 7 psi, that plug, in concert with the liquid tube, makes an airtight seal that's not gonna leak. It takes a lot of time to record and edit and upload these videos, and I greatly appreciate your support. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.